Hey everyone, it's Marie and welcome back to Marie TV. Today we're diving into a challenge that's both terrifying and exhilarating. A full 24 hours without my phone. Can you even imagine? For many of us, our phones have become extensions of ourselves. We rely on them for everything, from communication and information to entertainment, and even just a way to fill empty seconds. But what happens when we detach from the digital tether? How does it impact our focus, our creativity, our relationships with others, and even our relationship with ourselves? That's what I'm here to explore. So buckle up as I take you on this journey of rediscovering a world beyond the screen. I'll be sharing every raw and honest moment, from the initial anxiety to the unexpected joys, and everything in between. Get ready for some laughs, some insights, and maybe even a few aha moments along the way. Let's do this! Okay, let's be real for a second. I am a person who checks their phone first thing in the morning and last thing at night. It's my alarm clock, my news source, my connection to the world. And yes, it's often the source of my procrastination and distraction too. Sound familiar? We live in a hyper-connected world that constantly demands our attention. It's easy to get caught in the cycle of scrolling, liking, and comparing. But deep down, I crave more presence, more intention, and more meaningful connections, both with myself and the people around me. That's where this 24-hour challenge comes in. It's not about demonizing technology, but about creating space for something different, something more. It's about reclaiming my time, my focus, and my energy. So, here's the plan. For the next 24 hours, my phone is going completely off the grid. No calls, no texts, no social media, no internet browsing, nothing. It's just me, the real world, and a whole lot of unknowns. I'll be documenting my experience throughout the day, sharing the highs, the lows, and everything in between. We'll explore how this digital detox affects my productivity, my creativity, and my overall well-being. I'm both nervous and excited about this experiment. Part of me is dreading the potential discomfort and boredom, but a bigger part of me is craving the freedom and clarity that come with disconnecting. Are you ready to join me on this adventure? Let's do it! Okay guys, it's officially hour 1 of the 24-hour challenge, and I have to be honest, it already feels weird. My phone is locked away in a time safe, completely out of reach. My first instinct is to reach for it like a phantom limb syndrome, you know? It's amazing how quickly this device became an extension of myself. I keep catching myself wanting to check the time, scroll through Instagram, or even just see that blank home screen. It's like my brain hasn't quite caught up to the fact that it's off limits. But here's the thing. Amidst the initial twitchiness, there's also a sense of relief, a lightness, like I've taken off a heavy backpack I didn't realize I was carrying. I can already feel my mind starting to quiet, to relax, to be more present. This is going to be interesting. One of the biggest challenges so far? Navigating the world without my phone as a crutch. Usually, I rely on it for everything. Directions, checking the train schedule, even just deciding where to grab lunch. Today, I had to actually summon for directions. Remember that? Talking to strangers? It felt oddly refreshing. And you know what? It forced me to be more present, more aware of my surroundings. Instead of staring at my phone, I found myself noticing the details of my neighborhood, the quirky little shops, the vibrant street art, the sound of birds chirping in the park. It's amazing what we miss when we're glued to our screens. Here's something I didn't expect. Without my phone to distract me, I actually have time for things I love but often neglect. This morning, I actually sat down and enjoyed a cup of tea while reading a book. Not scrolling through headlines, not answering emails, just me, the words on the page, and the gentle aroma of chamomile. It felt luxurious. Later, I pulled out my old sketchbook and just started doodling. No pressure to create a masterpiece, no comparing my work to others online, just the pure joy of putting pen to paper. Who knew that disconnecting from the digital world could reconnect me to such simple pleasures? I'm starting to think this challenge is less about deprivation and more about rediscovering what truly brings me joy. It's officially lunchtime, and you know what that means? No mindlessly scrolling through social media while shoveling food in my mouth. Instead, I decided to have lunch in the park, sans phone, and just enjoy the experience. It felt strange at first, not having that familiar distraction. But then something amazing happened. I started to really my food, like really savor the flavors. And I found myself paying attention to the sights and sounds around me. Kids laughing, dogs chasing squirrels, the gentle breeze rustling through the leaves. It was a simple act, but without my phone as a barrier, it became so much more. It was a moment of pure presence, of connection with myself and my surroundings. I realized how often I eat lunch on autopilot, my mind miles away. This phone-free experience is a good reminder to slow down and savor the little things. Okay, confession time. Coming into this challenge, I was convinced that being without my phone would make me a productivity machine. No more distractions, right? Well, it turns out it's a little more complicated than that. Yes, there have been moments of incredible focus and clarity. I've already powered through a ton of work and it feels amazing. But there have also been moments where I've felt, well, a little lost. Without my usual quick Google searches or the ability to instantly connect with my team, I've had to find new ways to problem solve and stay on track. And honestly, it's been a bit of an adjustment. It's like my brain is rewiring itself to think more creatively, more independently. This challenge is showing me that true productivity isn't just about speed or efficiency. It's also about adaptability, resourcefulness, and learning to work smarter, not just harder. One of the most unexpected benefits of this phone-free day has been the quality of my interactions with others. Without the constant distraction of notifications and the temptation to check my phone during conversations, I'm finding myself truly present and engaged with the people around me. This afternoon, I met up with a friend for coffee, and it was like we were back in the days before smartphones took over our lives. We were both fully present, listening intently to each other, and our conversation flowed effortlessly. I realized how often I'm only half listening when I'm with people. My attention split between the conversation and whatever's happening on my phone. This challenge is a powerful reminder of how important it is to be fully present in our relationships and to give people our undivided attention. It's amazing how much richer and more meaningful our connections can be when we're not tethered to our devices. You know what I haven't experienced much of today? Boredom. I know, shocking, right? I went into this challenge convinced that I'd be bored out of my mind without my phone to keep me entertained. But here's the thing. When you remove the constant digital stimulation, it creates space for other things to emerge: creativity, reflection, even just a sense of peace and stillness. Instead of reaching for my phone every time I have a spare minute, I found myself doing things I haven't done in ages. Reading a book, going for a walk, just sitting outside and enjoying the fresh air. It turns out the world is a pretty interesting place when you actually take the time to experience it without a screen in front of your face. Dinner time usually means catching up with my partner while scrolling through our phones, but not tonight. It felt strange at first, just the two of us at the table, no glowing screens illuminating our faces. We actually had to gasp, talk to each other. Without our phones as a crutch, we found ourselves reminiscing about our day, sharing stories, and really listening to each other. It was like we were rediscovering the art of conversation, the simple joy of connecting on a deeper level. We even busted out a board game after dinner, something we haven't done in ages. The competitive spirit was alive and well, let me tell you. It was refreshing to engage in an activity that didn't involve pixels or screens. Who knew that disconnecting from our devices could reconnect us to each other in such a meaningful way? Evening has always been my prime time for scrolling through social media, catching up on shows, or falling down internet rabbit holes. So, I was curious to see how I'd fill the time without my trusty digital companions. Instead of collapsing on the couch with my phone, I decided to take a long, leisurely bath. And let me tell you, it was divine. I added some essential oils, lit candles, and just allowed myself to relax and unwind. Later, I curled up with a good book, an actual physical book with pages you turn, and got lost in a story. I'd forgotten how much I enjoy the feeling of paper in my hands, the gentle turning of pages. Without the constant barrage of notifications and the pressure to be connected, I felt a sense of calm and contentment I hadn't realized I was missing. One of the most surprising realizations from this challenge has been how much my phone had hijacked my evening rituals. I used to unwind by scrolling through social media, but it often left me feeling more wired than relaxed. Tonight, I decided to reclaim my evenings. Instead of mindless scrolling, I spent some time journaling, reflecting on my day and jotting down my thoughts. It was incredibly therapeutic. I also rediscovered the joy of listening to music. I put on some of my favorite tunes and just let myself get lost in the melodies. Without my phone to distract me, I found myself really connecting with the music on a deeper level. It's amazing how much richer our experiences can be when we're fully present and engaged, without the digital distractions vying for our attention. As this 24-hour digital detox draws to a close, I'm feeling a mix of emotions: liberation, gratitude, and a touch of apprehension about rejoining the digital world. This challenge has been a powerful reminder of how much our phones have infiltrated our lives, often without us even realizing it. It's shown me the importance of creating boundaries, of being intentional about my technology use, and of prioritizing real-life connections over digital distractions. I'm not going to lie, I'm looking forward to reconnecting with loved ones and catching up on what I've missed. But I'm also walking away with a renewed commitment to being more mindful about my phone use. This experience has been a wake-up call, a reminder that I'm in control of my technology, not the other way around. And that, my friends, is incredibly empowering. As I wrap up this incredible 24-hour journey, I'm amazed by how much can shift in just one day without the constant presence of my phone. It's not that my life was a chaotic mess before, though, let's be honest, our digital lives can sometimes feel that way. It's more about the subtle yet profound shifts that occurred when I removed the digital noise and made space for, well, just being. I rediscovered the joy of simple pleasures: a good book, a walk in the park, a heartfelt conversation. I tapped into a level of presence and creativity that often gets drowned out by the digital clamor. And I reconnected with myself and the world around me in ways that truly surprised me. This challenge wasn't about demonizing technology or becoming a tech-free hermit, although a few hours off the grid was pretty blissful. It was about hitting the reset button, about reclaiming my time and attention, and about remembering what truly matters most. So, what did I learn from this 24-hour digital detox? That less is truly more. Less screen time equals more presence, more creativity, more connection, more joy. It's about being mindful about how and when we use our phones, so they enhance our lives rather than dictate them. This experience has inspired me to create some new phone life balance rules for myself. Rules that will help me stay present, productive, and connected to what truly matters in the real world, not just the digital one. Because here's the thing, our phones are powerful tools, but they should never control us. We get to choose how we use them, and we have the power to create a healthier, more balanced relationship with technology. So, what are these new phone life balance rules I'm talking about? Well, for starters, I'm committing to designated phone-free times throughout the day. Think morning rituals, meal times, quality time with loved ones, and those precious hours before bed. I'm also going to be more mindful about the notifications I allow into my life. Do I really need to know every time someone likes my Instagram post? Probably not. It's time to silence the digital noise and reclaim my attention. And lastly, I'm going to make a conscious effort to use my phone for good, to connect with loved ones, to fuel my creativity, to learn and grow. Our phones can be incredible tools for connection, inspiration, and even activism. And I want to use mine in ways that align with my values and enhance my life. This 24-hour challenge may be over, but it's just the beginning of a more mindful, intentional relationship with my phone. And I invite you to join me on this journey. Let's redefine what it means to be connected in a world that's constantly vying for our attention.